Of background, science anxiety has been implicated as one of the several factors that cause students underachievement in science in Nigeria. And the literature also tells us that if you lower the barrier of anxiety, chances are high that the interest of the students will be boosted and achievement can also hike. So the logic for us is this in this study. Nigerians, according to some recent survey, are said to be one of the happiest people on earth. How they come about that, I don't know, but I tell you we are happy. And we like comedy a lot. So the preponderance of the TV shows that our youth and people like to watch, as reported by the Nigerian Television Authority, are comedies. We like a lot of humor. And it has also been shown that when we watch comedies, we have our anxiety level lowered. So the logic is that since we are looking for something that can help us to lower anxiety, so why don't those turn to comedy, turn to humor? So we have two types of humor. You have the general humor that, that's regardless of the boundary of subject. Then you have what we call the subject-specific humor. And within that, you have the topic-specific humor. So subject like biology, you have biology jokes, plenty of them. And then for excretion, for homeostasis, for that, and all of these topics, you have them that are specific. So, as I indicated, general humor has to do with everyday jokes that are not scientific, but the other ones that are specific for science. We say they are subject or topic specific. So, we were in quest of answering two questions. One, can humor help in science classes to lower anxiety and hence help to hike achievement, and also to help to improve the attitude of our students, especially to difficult topics in physics, chemistry, biology, and all the other science subjects. So we pitched the theory of this study on the incongruity theory of humor. There are three major theories: the superiority theories, the incongruity theories, and the relief theories. We settled to hang our study within the incongruity theory for the reason that we just presented. So, very straightforward study. Actually, this is a subset of several, because you can see we have a battery of researchers. Some of them are taking different topics in biology, some in chemistry, physics, and all of that. So for the one we're reporting here, we had two schools enrolling 106 students. They are grade 11, 12 kind of, that's secondary class 2 is grade 11 in Nigeria. And it was quite easy, because what we did was our students that were going on teaching practice are pre-service teachers. Before, in course now, being unleashed to the schools to do their teaching practice, we ran them through the protocol for the experiment. And two difficult topics were picked, all within excretion. That's processes and products of excretion, and excretion in unicellular and multicellular organisms. We had two instruments because we're interested in achievement. We're also interested in the attitude. So we had these two instruments constructed. So how did the whole process roll? The teachers had some training with us, because they are our students before they left for teaching practice. And we had them in two groups. One group that used humor and the other that did it. And for the different topics in biology, for different topics in physics, chemistry, and so on. And the one we're reporting is for the excretion component. So in the school that they went to, of course, they pre-tested on the two tests. They post-tested after treatment for 4 weeks. And the two groups, the two classes were identical, except for humor being used in one of them. And we video recorded all the lessons and coded, and the usual protocol of conducting an experiment like this. How the typical lesson roll? This is how it went. Teacher comes to class and begins with a general joke, and everybody, a lot of laughter, relaxes them. And then the teacher reviews the lesson, previous lesson, and then went on to introduce the current lesson with a joke that is specific to that topic, and then went on with the usual presentation of the subtopics and discussion in class. But during that phase of the lesson, the teacher ensures that, we had a topic-specific joke. So the teacher now tries to link that joke with the different elements of the topic that he is teaching. At the end of it, it closes with a topic-specific joke and then an assignment. So how did the control class run? Same as experimental, except that there were no jokes in between. That was the only difference between the experimental and the control classes. So we gathered pre- and post-test data. We also collected quantitative data, which we coded. And we had observers that did the classroom observation and the coding. And we had a number of themes emerge from what we coded. We followed up with interviews with the students. The data analysis, quite also very straightforward. With regard to quantitative data, since we collected pre-test and post-test, we ran analysis of covariance through the data and found that the experimental group did better on the two criterion measures, achievement and attitude. Quite interesting for us, some of the feedback we got from the quantitative data. Let's take a student. One of them, you can read what a quote from the interview data. I found the class quite interesting, and attention of the students were that all the students' attention were caught and make them have interest in attending the class. So after, you see, the students who were teachers were on a 6-week teaching practice. By the time they concluded their teaching practice and were to come, there was some kind of riot in the school. No, we don't want you to go again. We want you to still stay and keep teaching us, because they were enjoying the class. The other one, the male student who was 60 years old, said, yeah, they enjoyed it. And those that would normally sleep in class, they now no longer sleep. So attention is caught. But a third student said, I do not like the use of jokes because it causes a lot of noise. So different strokes for different folks. So we had 4 themes that we coded, and in one of them, the experimental students showed increasing level of attention. They were more attentive in class, and they were anxious for the next lesson, as I indicated. So when is the next lesson going to happen? And when there was no more lesson, when the teachers had concluded, and the regular teacher had to come back, then they had some challenge, because they've been enjoying the thing. More importantly for us is the stress level, which we were anxious should be depressed, because these are some topics that are perceived to be difficult for the students. And so the students were relaxed. You can see their faces were brighter. They were gleeful, faces, unlike in other lessons when they would feel, when they would look, morose. On the eagerness to learn theme, we find a high rise of enthusiasm, among the students, and they were able to link that joke. The good thing that we derive from, we find took out from this, is that they were able to make a link between that content-specific joke with the topic of the lesson. So Humour, as the incongruity theories have come up with, allow the brain to relax, to breathe. a breather to process and integrate lesson material. And the students were put at ease, and the learning process was made a lot more enjoyable. And the teacher, you know, it's not for you to just get it. You must be able to come up with spontaneous jokes that are spontaneous. So what are concluding remarks? We cannot generalize our study at this stage on account of a number of limitations. Teacher-related limitation, time-related limitation, but the little data that we collected have confirmed the potency of using humor in stimulating students' interest in achievement in science. Yes, we want humor to be a tool in the hands of a teacher, but some teachers are not keen on using humor. They want to be as straight-faced as some people I'm looking at here. And they don't want. So it now behoves that, you know, if a teacher believes that you need a tool to let you lower the anxiety level, they turn to humor. We have started compiling. You see, what is funny to the American may not be funny to the Nigerian. So there are context-specific jokes, and of course the topic or subject to topic-specific jokes may be common to us. So what we're doing now is compiling, having a compendium of jokes for different topics and for this. We are all now onto the second phase of our study. So thank you.